And I am back. Peanut Gallery is currently sitting in our studio, and I am going to talk about a wrestling lesson with Tiger Height. Now, we have just come off of not only Hell in a Cell, but Bound for Glory. Hell in a Cell's been done to death. Let's talk about Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is the only other event that has been consistent since 2005 for TNA, Impact Wrestling, Anthem, whatever you want to call them, other than Slammiversary. The 2006 edition was the company's first 3-hour monthly pay-per-view event to take place outside of the Impact Zone. This event emanated from the Corpru Sports, the CompuWare Sports Arena, now known as the USA Hockey Arena, in Plymouth Township, Michigan, which is basically a subset of Detroit. The CompuWare Arena was also the site of the first TNA house show. This show is important because this was, even still to this day, the highest rated and the highest watched TNA pay-per-view of all time. This was the one with Sting and Jeff Jarrett, title versus career fight. Also, the debut of Kurt Angle. So there was a lot going into this event. I remember watching this live. It was fantastic. Also, the event in 2005 was lowly rated because not only did not a lot of people know about TNA, because this was like 2 months after they got their TV deal with Spike. So, and then also Rhino won the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, which was a 5-minute match. Also, at this point, this was the NWA champion. I apologize for the TNA. I'm so used to it. The 2016 event was the only Bound for Glory event using Roman numerals, the first and only in its actual title. That's important because a lot of them like to do those Roman numerals. WWE did it for WrestleMania for a very long period of time, and then they decided that was retarded. And because Mr. McMahon doesn't want to see himself becoming really old, so now they're just calling it WrestleMania. From its inception in 2005 until 2013, all events were held in the United States. The 2014 event was held at Kurikan Hall in Tokyo, Japan, in conjunction with their new partnership with Wrestle One. Also, the main event of that pay-per-view was the only Bound for Glory to not have the TNA World Heavyweight Champion in any incarnation as the main event. It was some BS tag team match with the Great Muta in it, so obviously he needs to be in the main event. Plans for Bound for Glory, the original, were originally discussed in 2003, and with an angle featuring TNA mainstay Jeff Jarrett assaulting the then free agent Hulk Hogan, with a guitar shot following a New Japan Pro Wrestling show at the Tokyo Dome that was filmed on October 13th, 2003. For several weeks thereafter, TNA hinted a future match between Hogan and Jarrett at the Bound for Glory show, possibly as a featured match in a planned event. It was rumored that Kevin Nash and Scott Hall would be brought in for the event. However, Hogan opted for surgery to get his hip replaced instead of the actual thing. So Bound for Glory that year was scrubbed out. The first event was 2005. So they had this plan for a very long time. I remember that entire thing with Jeff Jarrett. So it's not the longest of title histories because, number one, it was incredibly difficult to find any kind of history with Bound for Glory. Kurt Angle and Sting are the two superstars who are currently tied for the most main events in TNA's history at 4.
Okay.
And yes, every single other main event was a world championship match.
Right.
But Bound for Glory was originally not going to be in October. They wanted Bound for Glory to be in the summer. They wanted Slammiversary to be in October, but because of the plan change with Hogan and Jarrett, they had to change it. Also, the 2005 edition of that show was the first monthly pay-per-view event that TNA was doing on pay-per-view since they moved over to Spike for the regular show.
Right.
That was the first one that they did. Obviously the event has had so many different problems. Billy Corgan did the funding for Bound for Glory in 2015, I think it was.
No, I thought that was 2018.
Oh, I didn't think it was that late.
No, well, I
think it was 2017, 2018. It was about to not happen, and the company was about to go under. And then Corgan just came in with some big-time Smashing Pumpkins money to help the company. Obviously, that's a mess for another day.
Oh, yeah.
But Bound for Glory has been an event that, that was my first event. I kind of have a nice little hard-on for Bound for Glory, because that was my first event for Impact Wrestling. Also, that was the first event that I did live commentary for. Was a Bound for Glory event.
Nice.
So I kind of have that. And going into 2020, which we'll be talking about soon, I think this company needs to start, well, maybe not Bound for Glory and Slammiversary. I think they need to bring back monthly pay-per-views.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll get to that. This is a shorter segment, but that's okay. We'll get back to Bound for Glory 2020 when we come back.
Yeah.